Hello. Ooh, voice. Let's try turning that voice on properly rather than making weird noises. Hope everyone's alright. Oh, let's get some baking sim development done, started, rolling, whatever you call it. Right. I forgot where I got up to. I was making cookies. I want you to make sure that when you go to the sponge cake, that's handy that I'm in the sponge cake, we don't accidentally allow you to pick up. Oops. Oh, they don't have a back button. That'd be really useful because I have no idea where I was. Not in there. Cake mixture. That's actually what I want. So I specified a null object here. Let's open up Visual Studio. Whatever. Get Visual Studio loaded. Okay, we're up. So I'm hoping here that returning null is perfectly acceptable. I'm just going to open this door a little because it's a bit warm in here. Get some airflow. I want to melt. That'd be bad, wouldn't it? Oh, I was going to zoom in my code a little. I noticed when I was watching back a stream that it's quite small text. Hopefully that makes it a bit more readable. Right, back to Unity. So we should be able to run this up, go into a sponge cake recipe, and then if I put my hand in the bowl, I shouldn't be able to grab any mixture because we don't want you to be able to do that in the sponge cake recipe. Then I'm going to change the cookie mixture so that we can add little brown bits in it because it's meant to be chocolate chip. And at the moment it's just a plain text, not plain text, plain texture. Yeah. It's a bit crap is what it is. Okay, so we're in, I don't know why I'm looking at the ceiling. And we want to do a sponge cake for a change. I also want to make sure that the sponge cake's still fully working. I can't see why it wouldn't be. Now to remember how to make a sponge cake. 125 grams. Let's just first check that I can't grab anything just by default. I think that's disabled in here. That's interesting. Sorry, it's on trigger enter, isn't it? It's in here. Yeah, there we go. Because we haven't created a mixture yet, there is no mixture to create. So to do that, let's just cheat a little. Butter, 125 I think it is. Hope it is. Yeah, and sugar. Sugar, 125 grams. Okay, complete that stage. Add some eggs. Self-raising flour, 125 grams. Mix all the ingredients together. I still have to do this bit manually because cheating to mix still doesn't work correctly. I need to work out why that is, but it's not high on the list. Beautiful. So now I have a mixture in there. We should end up... That should succeed when I put my hand in. Let's use the other hand actually. So now in here, this will return the bowl mixture. So then we want on pickup object. No, it's just pickup object, isn't it? Pickup object. So in here, we'll end up getting a mixture. Continue that. So when I grab, it tries to create a handful, and now I'm going to return, no, you can't have a handful, because in the sponge cake you don't need to get a handful of mixture. Which should just keep bailing. Okay, so I didn't get any mixture, but I should still be able to pick up the ball. Cool. So that seems to be working. Let's make sure I can still pour it out. Take it to the cake tin. I don't need that anymore. There used to be a bin there. I'm pretty sure I forgot to put a collision box in the bin and it just falls out of the world on the start. Could have sworn I made a bin. So literally why there's a hole there, ready for a bin. Open the door up. Slot my arm in. Close it up. Obviously I'm not going to wait 25 minutes. Oh my god, your arm. That looks painful. That looked very painful. But then that would complete. Right, so let's return to the main menu. And then instead this time we'll go into the cookie recipe, and I should be able to grab bits of cookie dough out of the mixture. So we want to go to the cookies. Hey, look at this loading time. There's literally nothing to load. I don't know if it's the audio on start. I think I stream it on load. Maybe I should just actually stream it. So we need to add some stuff to the bowl. Add some sugar. It's 175 grams of sugar. Add some brown sugar. I need to mix that up. Oh, nanas. And then what is it? Egg, and then the awkward one. Two eggs. Give that a mix. I'm not doing very well at holding onto spoons today. That's interesting, that didn't really mix. Oh, because I haven't advanced the mode. Yeah, there we go. That's a bit strange. I might change this because 50 grams a time, it's just 350 doesn't divide nicely. Suppose I could do 70 grams 5 times rather than 50 grams 7 times. Because at the moment you need to manually pour in 50 grams of flour, and then seriously, why can't I hold on to my spoon? And then do the same. Which obviously this is quite annoying. I think 5 times, like, that wasn't too painful. But the extra 2 times. Alright, I'm not going to do a spoon anymore. Oh yeah, I do. Chocolate chips, 75 grams. Screw it, let's use a whisk. Man, that was awkward. Okay. And then I don't need to complete that. So this is basically where we got to on Friday. I should now be able to grab little cookies. Oh, I missed. There we go. That clipping's weird, isn't it, as well? That should draw last. Oh, cookie. So that's all working, which is good. So we need to make it reduce the amount of mixture in the bowl every time you grab a handful. What happens if I do that? You lose your mixture. Look. But if I've poured out the mixture and then I try and grab a handful, does it let me? Oh, that's annoying. Okay, that's a easy bug to fix, I think. So when the bowl is inverted, so that must be in fixed update. So I must be doing a dot product, yeah. Pour out mixture. So if the mixture isn't active or we haven't made a mixture, don't do anything. So we just set it active to false. So I think what we also need to do is update the mixture ratio. What does that even do? It's clamping some progress. So it's the active recipe. Okay, so we need to do something a bit fancier than I first thought. So we want to clear the mixture. In fact, let's just get mixture ratio. If the mixture ratio is null or that is null, don't do anything. If the mixture isn't active because we've disabled it after pouring, return 0. I think that's it. Let's go check that's fixed that bug. I should probably be writing down these bugs or just adding comments. Yeah, I can remember. What I don't know how to do is how to animate the chocolate chips coming onto the mixture, because that means I need to animate the texture, or well, blend the texture. Which I don't know how to do. Just contemplating adding a recipe complete stage that just automatically goes, okay, I'm currently on this stage, do that, do that, do that, and then I could just go complete stage all the way down to where I need to be. Because at the moment, having to, add 225 grams and then add 175. It doesn't take long, but it's, oops, just a little typo here and there. And the fact I have to mix it, maybe fixing the mixing cheat isn't a bad idea. I just thought that I can probably grab a mixture now, can't I? Yeah, so that needs fixing as well. You can only do it on the last stage, so I need to ask a recipe if it can. But if I turn it upside down, it should fall out. And when I put my hand in and grab, I shouldn't get a cookie. I don't. Okay, so that's one bug fixed. Another one discovered. Yippee! So, in here, in the hand pickup trigger, we say create handful. What's that on? That's on a mixture. I don't think a mixture knows about a recipe, but the bowl does. Does a mixture know about a bowl? No. So the other option is up here we say get bowl trigger, and a bowl trigger says get mixture. That knows about a bowl. How does a bowl get the active recipe? Active recipe. Am I being blind? I'm going to presume it asks the game session for it. No. What the crapping hell is that doing? That gets the active recipe description. And then from that gets the recipe implementation. Ooh. But a mixture can know about it. Cool. We'll just initialize this when we know about it. Oh no, that's in a bowl. Meh. But yeah, we can set it on here. If we just hunk that through, create that method, and then we do star in here. Why is this telling me about that? Change rule. Oh, did I put that as a suffix then? What a pleb. And it's lowercase camel. There we go. Active a recipe, so we start that. Spell private, less like a spaz. And then we set that to be equal to the active recipe. So we're going to say create a handful if you have a handful, that's fine. And create a handful if active recipe. So if active recipe is equal to null, or we can't. Whoa! I didn't type any of that. Allow mixture handful. Can create mixture handful. Handful. Return no. And then the recipe implementation is what we have as the base class to most things. It's the problem with reinstalling Visual Studio and Visual Assist. I lose all my naming conventions. That's dumb. Because it's protected, it comes up as a not private field. Well, it's actually but oh well. Oh well. What was I doing? Adding can create mixture handful to this. So we just make another abstract bool. So by making it abstract, any class that inherits from this must implement it. Which means the sponge cake recipe and the cookie recipe both have to implement this can create mixture handful. And they decide if you can or can't. It allows me to keep the logic within each recipe. So now if I go back to the cookie recipe, I'll get an error at the top stating that I haven't implemented an abstract method. So if we go down here, and we can return that the current stage is equal to put mixture on tray. Easy. And then in the sponge cake recipe, we need to do the same thing, but here we just return false. So the sponge cake recipe can now never create a handful. I don't have to rely on the logic of you not having a handful object. I can just say no, you're not allowed. That'll get set. If it's null or you can't create one, don't allow it. Yeah, I think that's right. Let's let that build. Oh, the load time. Why you do this? I just want to cake. Please. So obviously here you can get around the system. This kind of isn't the point of the game, that you can bodge around these. It's meant to be a silly physics simulation game, but I wanted the recipes to be accurate, so that if you actually did follow this accurately, you could IRL go make some cookies. Obviously what you could do, excluding the fact that I'm cheating, you could just add some stuff to the bowl, add sugar, oh my brain's gone already. You could add them and give it a mix. And now technically you have a mixture. The only other thing that says I can't pick this up is that I'm not on the pickup stage. So that should return false. And just to make sure it's calling my code, we'll go into the cookie recipe and add a breakpoint. Because although that looked like it was working, let's just validate. Yep, so then current stage is not that. So that's going to return false and not allow me to pick up any mixture. But what obviously people will end up doing, because they're dumb, is just going like this and failing everything. And now I'm on the correct stage. And go, well, I can just pick up this mixture now. So when I grab, the current stage is put mixture on tray, so that'll return true, and it'll allow us to create a handful. Which I think I just dropped in the bowl. Let's not worry about that. Which obviously now I've made a handful of dough, but it's not real dough. It's just butter and sugar. Which sounds lovely, to be fair. Let's just numb on that. I mean, I've just found my new favourite game, sling shit across the room using a tray. But that, again, oh, it's got stuck on my hand, hasn't it? No, he's gone. That's allowed us to limit things. And if I empty the bowl, put my hand in, nothing. That actually ends the recipe. There's no way of recovering from that. You'd have to Go like that, and restart. A restart basically just reloads the current level, which resets all this stuff because we don't set it persistently, we set it on the current scene. Okay, let's see if we can fix up the... But I meant to fair, I can add the sugar first, doesn't matter. And add the brown sugar. So we have this mix command. Get on the bowl. Command mix ingredients. Yeah, so what we do is we just call mixture and we call mix a crap ton. So on trigger enter. On trigger stay. Can mix. Stir ingredients. Blah 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 blah. Apply ingredient mixing scale. Mix ingredients, which just calls a float and a float. So I can't see why that wouldn't work. So I do a bowl.mix. So we're going to say get the mixture ratio. I'm just going to call 0. Oh, why does that say 0? Interesting. And then I say mix. Which says 0.1. And then we work out the maths, which gives us 0.1, because although I'm saying mix it like a motherfucker, my maximum mix is 0. Get mixture ratio, which returns stage mixture ratios, which I'm guessing hasn't been set. No, it hasn't. Okay, so maybe I should specify a ratio there. I'm going to specify 1, and it'll just always give you a full mixture. And that should fix that, I hope. So if that works, I might quickly put together a complete stage recipe complete stage or something like that. Console command, and then just makes debugging quicker, iteration time quicker. So that'll take me 10 minutes, 15 minutes to implement that. And the amount of times I spend clicking all this crap, I should make it back. I think it was a shame about the Foo Fighters new album. Because like this is such a good song, and Run's a really good song, but the rest of the album was just weird. I don't know if that's just me. Maybe it's just me. So if I do a bowl, add sugar 175, bowl, add brown sugar 175, bowl, add butter 225, and then let's get a bit closer. Bowl dot mix. Boom. So that should give me an A for that, because I'm awesome. Then I say bowl, add egg 2. Now if I do a bowl dot mix again, I don't expect anything to change. Which it hadn't. So let's just bowl, add, what is this, plain flour, 350, and then bowl dot mix. That's technically wrong. I wonder how bad of a grade I get. I get an F, because I did do it wrong. I also don't think this is mixing. Can mix chocolate chips. It's just a really small amount. Oh no, I'm an idiot. No, it doesn't bloody work. 340. 1, that's now 75. Good line, 240. What? Oh, 340 wasn't it? Brain. That should be target chocolate chips amount. So I was just getting a really poor accuracy. Another bug fixed. Look at this. We're just stability levels. Let's go get some of this stuff submitted. So, I kind of did a lot of things on top of each other here, and I don't think any of it can be submitted by itself, which is bad. Always make modular changes. So I'm going to have to do this as one monolithic change. I say monolithic. It's 5 files. I'm not exactly breaking the world record for number of files I've made. Fix the debug command bowl.mix. Stop users. I know. Ask recipes if the user can create a handful. Don't allow a handful of mixture if the user has emptied the mixture out of the bowl. Fix the cookie recipe target chocolate chip amount. I spelled chocolate wrong. Chocolate. No, that's still wrong. Okay, that should have made that a bit more, I don't want to say stable. It's a lot of little things fixed, which is good. Small incremental improvements. So it's going to add a debug command to help me complete a mixture stage, a recipe stage. So I guess that's down to this guy. Want something similar to this. I think I can do this in the base class. Yeah. So this is going to be recipe complete stage. Complete the active stage of the recipe. Again, these are commands that I use only if I'm debugging. These won't be public commands. He doesn't need to. I suppose I can take a grade. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Being able to go. I want an A, a B. Should I default it to being an A so I don't have to type A all the time? Yeah, yeah. I would imagine I'd normally want to just get an A straight away. Okay, that looks fine and dandy. So we then need to just call an abstract method, I guess, of complete current stage grade. In fact, I don't need to call that. I'm just going to override the grade. How do I set one of them? My brain's gone. Blah blah blah. Stage grade. So after we've done it, we're going to say, oh, that's going to complete it though, is because I've implemented that. So I need to store the current stage, I guess. Okay, so if he make that return the current stage, and then I can just say the current stage, cast that to an int, equals grade. I don't know what that's going to break, because this normally calls advanced recipe stage, which says do this callback, increment the current stage, and then set complete based upon that. Can I use call advanced recipe stage? I'll do the callback, but I kind of want to actually add the ingredients to the bowl. So I need to also update complete. That's in the base class, isn't it? Do I care about complete? Ah, fuck it. So let's make this protected. Recipe stage grade. Complete current stage. And then again, these will complain that I've not implemented it, so we'll implement it. I'm going to move this up here though, somewhere around here. And this is going to be defined out hash if unity editor, because if the code never makes into a build, we can't have someone getting their hands on this function. We'll just return. I don't want to return a recipe stage, I want to return an int, which is current stage. And then back here we're going to change this to an int. And then that doesn't need casting to an int because it's already an int. And we just force the grade. The other option is I pass it through. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. That gets rid of all this bollocks. Let's just pass the grade through. And that's going to take a grade, which then means that empty block is bull. One day I'll fill all this in. Honest, I swear to God. Scout's honor. Oh, I did a religious cross thing. A bit weird. It's almost Easter as well. I'm gonna get eaten by Jesus. So now I can just go stage grade. Int current stage equals grade. Then that. Is that not set to avoid? No, next choose to avoid. Which means I don't need that either. And then we're going to use current stage. I don't really care about the default or the complete. I suppose if you've done the complete, we just want to return. In fact, let's just bail and not bother with a complete. Okay. Visual Studio on indenting in case statements is literal idiocy. I can't even say the word. That's how angry it makes me. It'll just indent wherever the fuck it wants. So what I now need to do is somehow get to the bowl and just add the ingredients. I'm wondering if can I execute like commands just willy-nilly. Also, that's a very English term, willy-nilly. Just means like whenever I want. We need to register these in awake. We need to register ourselves, and then public void on destroy. Destory. Yep. We just need to unregister ourselves. I don't think on destroy gets called. Yeah, cool. Right, that's going to hump through to here. I should probably go implement a dummy stage in the sponge cake just so the code's there, or else I'll go and test in a minute and then be like, why you no compile? Find advanced sponge cake recipe. Let's go to the right class. None of that's applicable anymore. I don't think I saved anything in there. So the sponge cake one just won't do anything. It'll bail all the time. So we need to find a way to do that. To call other console commands. Can I do it on this guy? Find closest matching command. It returns a command handler. Can I get command handler? Command name. And it's bold add, isn't it? So I mean, it's just randomly indenting me back. But if I bring this back, it'll be like, oh no, you don't want that there. You want that there. You just want this here. It's like, what? Make up your mind, Visual Studio. Where do you want my indentation? Because in my head, that should be like that. But then when I save it, it'll be like, nah, mate. I'm going to go over here. Cheers, bud. But that's kind of not what I wanted. So let's cache these out. So and I guess I want a bowl mix. I don't know why I haven't even tested this works. This is how confident I am. I'm not confident. And can I just like invoke? Oh yeah. Let's do a new array. And then a bowl mix, bowl add, even. Oh, dearie me, where is it gone? It takes an ingredient type. Butter. Does it take params, this? Oh, it does, you lovely human. And then it takes a quantity, isn't it? Yeah, weight. So I should just put go 250. Look, what's it even? And now it's half indented some of them? Visual Studio! What are you doing? It's just... I just don't know. Is it because I'm doing something C++y? I don't need to put these brackets. I can just do that. Right? That's perfectly fine. But in C++, you can't declare a variable inside a case statement of a switch without a scope. You'd have to declare it above the switch, which means you just end up with a lot of variables at the top that kind of only need to live inside the case. So I always just scope them because it's like muscle memory. Maybe, I guess I don't need to do that in C#, but... And then bowl.mix invoke. I don't think he takes any parameters. Nope. He probably should, but... Should we get that a whirl? This has got to be too good to be true. It's not going to work first time. It never works first time. That's rule number 1 of programming. If it works first time, you've done it wrong, go do it again. It's meant to not work first time, and then you go, oh yeah, I've typoed here, silly me, and then go and fix it. Takes 2 minutes to fix maximum, and then you know, commit that. You don't even need to test it again. It's just a rule of thumb. First time never works. How are the lurkers in the chat? I see you there, lurking. I'm friendly, you can talk. Ask questions. Abuse me. Don't abuse me, that's mean. Mock the fact that I'm making a game about simulating baking. Or go and make some cookies. See how accurate the recipe is. I haven't actually made this recipe. I've made the sponge cake, I haven't made the cookies. So I'm investing a lot here in the BBC recipe website and hoping that they've tested the recipes. I'd hope the BBC have tested them. I keep wondering, let's try talking in English. I keep wondering as well if it's worth upgrading to Unity 2018 for the new render pipeline stuff. To be fair, this game isn't sort of targeted at good graphical quality. It's just, you know, I've made all the art. It's nothing special. So I don't know if I'd benefit from that at all. Okay, that hasn't even registered my commands, so it didn't work first time. We're on to a winner here, guys. Have we got any warnings? They're all expected. Interesting. I wonder why this didn't get called. Let's try calling a restart recipe. Oh, attach a breakpoint. Was that in time? I don't know if that was in time. Okay, so we're calling this. Oh, yeah. Where's my mouse gone? I've lost my mouse, guys. Have you seen him? If you see my mouse, please tell the police. And this is a cookie recipe. See, so I'd have expected that to have registered recipe.complete stage. Unless it gets destroyed straight away. Have I put a breakpoint on destroy? No, of course I haven't. Interesting. Interesting. I think I have to do anything more advanced than that. Register handlers. Then undestroy unregister handlers. What do we call the other one? Is it in start or awake? It's on start. Could try doing it on start. Maybe that's a limitation. Does anybody know? Do you know the way? I'd be worried though that these implement start and then I'm gonna have to call that into a base class and blah 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 blah. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to. Which then means that's gonna get a warning at least. So I need to override start now. And I need to override start here. That's why it's worth keeping all your warnings to a minimum. What's this complaining about? It's the wrong namespace. I don't care about that warning. Can I disable it? I'm going to change it to a hint. That's complaining because I called it SR for self-raising flower. And it's a capital SR. It doesn't like that. I don't care about that. Same issue. Yeah, it's complaining because it's empty code. I don't know if that's... Can I delete that? Let's just see if that compiles. I thought that was a new C# feature that Unity didn't yet have. I might be wrong. I have to know. Did that compile? Well, I take back everything I said. Yeah, that's got SR in it. I should... There's a... In fact, shall I get that now? Oh, this is going to be fun. There is a Unity add-on for... I use something called ReSharper, which adds better analytics and these little warning things you'll see down the side. There is an add-on for Unity that makes it compatible. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Click install, click install. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. But I think it also adds some stuff, so if you do something that Unity doesn't sort of like or support, it should tell me about that as well. I have to restart Visual Studio. That's not happening anytime today. Anyway, we wanted to check start. Now, is that going to call the base one? I don't need to invoke that manually, do I? Okay. Let that build. There is a thing, isn't there now? Is that in this one where I can create a assembly definition? I need to read up on them. I think I can massively improve my build time. like this start time here. I don't even know what Unity's doing there. It just takes a while. Oh, dearie me. Did I? No. Right, single player. That kitchen. Cookies. Right, called on destroy for the sponge cake recipe. I don't know why the sponge cake recipe had been initialized. Oh, and the cookie recipe. They both get initialized. Is that the problem? They registered the same name. Does this need to be on the game session and then invoked on the active recipe? Yeah, that's not working, is it? This is not going very well. But it's calling the destroy. It's one last test, because I know obviously I can go base dot start. Just make it definitely call it. But I'm wondering if I should, rather than the recipe itself owning this command, given that we have multiple versions of it, if the command should be moved elsewhere. Okay, we are built. Let's go. All this to make debugging easier. It'll be worth it though. This happened last time with the bowl add ingredient stuff and bowl mix. It took half an hour to an hour to implement, but the amount of time it's saved since is... It's not even time, willpower. Having to manually do this every time. You know, having to complete the game every time I want to test something that happens at the end is dumb. Also, when people report bugs, it's much easier to be able to skip to just before where they do something than try and do it every time. It doesn't have to be like a static method or any crap like that, doesn't it? That's kind of the point, is that I didn't want it static. Definitely, I could have just typed then. Why didn't I just type then? That was silly of me. How silly. Oh, bloody knob. This is a good song. Okay, so we're going to call that, which should then invoke the base class, which has registered it. But it's not there. It's a way of listing all commands. List. Help. Fuck. I don't really know what to suggest now. I'm not sure why it's not working. There isn't some requirement on that. I don't. Ow! Oh, unless you can't have defaults that renum, so it's just failing to register the command. I bet it's that. I bet it doesn't know how to handle that. I bet you can have primitive types as defaults. It's going to be something as silly as that, and I've just spent ages trying to work this out. Silly, silly, silly. So this should be just a matter of going and highlighting the cookie recipe. I don't need to start it. Silly, silly. Look at that pan flute solo. It's what's missing from modern music. I bet Rihanna doesn't know how to play a pan flute. She don't know nothing. Anyway, can Toto tell who's a rude boy? I mean, can anyone tell who a rude boy is? Oh, I don't even know anymore. I don't understand why it won't register the command. This is meant to make my life easier. It's making me want to cry. Assets. Plugins. What's it even called? Who makes it? Open coding? Console? It is them, isn't it? Yeah. Where's your help, please? Read me? Thank you for doing this. Go here to get started. Thank you. I'm having to read documentation. I feel like a scrub. Right, let's go, guys. Let's read. Yep, I've done that. I know how it works. Technical docs. Thank you. Put that, add a command handler above what you want, call register handlers, specify either the type for the class for static command handlers or passing this for non-static. Yep. So I'm doing this version, and you can do it in Awake. So if I type B though, it instantly completes to, so it's not picking up. It's not picking it up at all. What are the requirements for this? What primitives data types are supported? Enum should work. Dynamic command handlers that are registered and registered at runtime. Oh, really? Is that my issue, that the recipe gets correct? It's not there on scene load? I have literally no idea here. I feel like I've just wasted a shit ton of time. Let's delete all that. Let's move it out of here. Don't bother with that. Don't bother with that. Back into here. Delete that. So we've still got the boilerplate. That's no longer an override. Which means, whee, that's no longer an override. Okay. And then in the game session, am I registering commands in here anyway? I am. Complete the current stage for the active recipe. Let's just take an empty parameter, I don't really care. And then active recipe, it doesn't have an active recipe. It does have an active recipe description. If that is null, then bugger off. Recipe implementation equals that. Get component in children, I think it is. Recipe implementation. Something like that. If that is equal to null. Otherwise, complete. What did I call it? Whee! Complete current stage. That now needs to be public because I'm accessing it from elsewhere, which now means that needs to be public and that needs to be public, which then means I can do complete current stage recipe grade A. And then in the start method of here we do some crazy. It's that I need. If that is null or that is null, nothing to do. Save that, attach to Unity. 12 times the charm, right? Right? Please? Okay, are we going? We're going. We're built. Let's go. Come on, load, load, load. Be interested to see if player stats works. Yeah, that works. Whee! So about a stat, that. It's registered. I have no idea why it wouldn't register. I think it was panicking because I was registering a command to multiple classes, if that makes sense. We had multiple recipe implementations that live at the same time, and they were both registering the same command name to different handlers, and I think that really made it panic. So now I should be able to go recipe stage complete. Maybe. Recipe stage complete. Complete the current stage. Boom. Active recipe is not equal to null, and the root object is not null. The implementation is not null. So we're going to call these, we're going to get some handlers. And before we call invoke, let's just put some breakpoints in these bad boys as well. Boom, boom. Go back to where I was, here, and we're going to invoke this. And that's going to throw an exception. Balls. I got a little ahead of myself there, so I don't think that's how you can invoke them. What is this? See, it thinks it takes an ingredient type and some weight. How do I invoke a command dynamically? How do we think we're going to do this, guys? So what does that return? That returns a command handler. Just look at the documentation open. Oh my god, that's bright. What are these files? Yep. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Let me just open my curtain so it gets a bit brighter in here. There we go. Then maybe when I look at white background text it won't burn my eye sockets. Okay, that's a little disappointing. The documentation doesn't state how to do what I was hoping it would say. So now let's go the naughty way and launch .peek. .peek is a C# disassembler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go look at their code. I accept that I am awesome. I think that's what I was asking. It's like, how awesome are you? It's like, pretty freaking awesome. Let's drag one of these in here, and we can now have a look at what their code is doing. So in the command handlers, what are we doing? Yeah, we do get command handler. Register, blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, just call handle command. That's just going to return a command handler. It's one of these guys. And I was looking at calling invoke, which is, oh, I don't even know what that means. Oh, that was pretty scary. Let's go back to this guy. Yeah, I think handle command might just do it, and it's public. It's going to get a command handler for the name. We're getting the first parameter. We then get the parameters. Command header, current executing command, invoke, strut array, some crazy shit, and then handle it. Yeah, so rather than getting the command, I think we can call it directly. So rather than doing this, which I don't know, I kind of liked being able to do that, but I think we just go handle command and we go bowl.add ingredient type enum butter 250. Let's change this up a little and then delete that, It's not 250 grams, is it? It's 175. Oh, we almost added too much sugar then to them cookies. That'd have been embarrassing, wouldn't it? Not like I've just spent almost an hour trying to make it do this. And that's not the embarrassing part. It's just adding too much sugar to a cookie in a virtual game. I don't know why I've just written what I've written. I want to say mix. Not salty about this at all. It seems weird to have to do that. It's a way of making like this theme not be burning my eyes. Options? No. There's no like dark theme, please. Color theme. Not burn eyes. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, of course that's gonna break. Because it's running. So the strut array is so we just split the command line into separate commands, and we skip one and skip the last one, and it's not the last one. Yeah. Okay, and we log some warning stuff out. Cool. Cool. Clear that out. This is the one, right, guys? We're all feeling confident? Yeah? Please? Someone have confidence in me. My mum thinks I was an accident. She doesn't. My mum's awesome. Also thinks I was an accident. She's not quite sure. It could have been planned or could have been a mishap. And that sentence itself is ravelled in complex thought and bollocks. Cookies. I feel like every time I click cookies I should have to make everyone that's watching accept them. Thanks to EU law. Oh, I'm excited. It don't take much to get me going, but a good old command handling. And we have them. Okay, so we at least make it into here. Have I got bold breakpoints? CMD, that one. We do. Oh, this is looking. The requested value butter was not found. Oh, okay. Maybe what I was doing before would have worked. Which I might then go back to rather than doing this. When you're parsing an enum in C#, you don't need to fully scope the object because it knows its enum type. So you just need the actual value, which in this case will be butter, sugar, brown sugar. Maybe I misread the error message on the last one. So decompiling this was pointless. That also being said, just throwing a random ass exception, I wish they'd have handled that for me and output a useful message. You know, this is the command we try to execute. For the second parameter, we expect something, one of these values, and you've specified this. Let's attach again, but then I'll just let it hit the bowl command. Loading, 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 loading. Black screen, black screen, black screen, black screen. Oh, I didn't mean to even click that. Good old misclick. There you go, there's the new kitchen I'm working on. Something's killed on scene load, hasn't it? But what has killed it? Nobody knows. It seemed to have died in the latest, upgrading Unity to 0.3.1. I was on 0.3.0, it seemed a lot better. Something's changed slightly. Look at that, it hit bowl add, and it's looking for ingredient type butter. And we're going to do a mix. Yeah, I thought that was going to happen. So it didn't update the UI. So why didn't it update the UI? We're asking notice board. Complete recipe stage. Oh, maybe this guy should own it. This would be nice. Then also not, because I don't want to do all of this. Let's read what the hell I was doing. Yeah, that'd be nice. That would group things together nicely. So turn into a snake. Sammy Snake. We want to copy this. And we want to bob it in here. Yeah, do that. Do we implement on destroy? We don't, so we need to implement it. I cannot spell on destroy. And that needs to do an unregister rather than a register. And then we are going to move CMD this into here. Hash if Unity editor. Right, but instead all we need to do is say if that's null, don't do anything, otherwise crack on, laddie. And then we need to move this into a function. Do I want to do that? I'll move that into a function. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do that. Update notice board and stage complete. Oh, private void update notice board on stage complete. Move that code in there. I don't want to do a hash if not Unity editor. Store some analytics. I don't even like these analytics. I need to improve them. I want to put analytics in a lot more places. Something I am definitely lacking in. I am bothered about showing that. And then down here, we just call update. I guess, or that dot is complete. Okay, so this should work and allow me to complete recipe stages and update the UI correctly with one console command rather than N, where N currently could be up to 4 commands, which was annoying. Sehr annoying. I have no idea why I just went German. I wanted a drink, and in my head I went, let's go German. Must be German water. Water, you might say. I apologise to any German people I may have offended. Alexa? Oh, she's died. She's dropped off the internet. Shut up, love. Calm your passions. Oh, I've clicked the wrong button again. I must be getting tired. Well, I am tired. Does that mean I'm going to have to stand up and turn on my light manually? Christ, what is this? The reason I let Amazon monitor everything I do, so I don't have to stand up to turn light switches on, and that didn't even work. So hopefully this will work. Because I have literally now spent an hour trying to do something that I thought would take 10 minutes. Attach the debugger. And then... Oh, it's there, so that's a good start. Did I not remove the other one? Have I just... I am a pleb. Look at it. I mean, it did add everything. Look at that. It's just like instant mixture. That's nice. I was hoping this one would hit there. I really need to look at these load times and build times. Aside from having to complete the recipes, the next biggest slowdown I've got in development is build time. It's a good 5 to 10 seconds between each change. And I'm one of them people that likes to make a lot of small incremental changes over and over and over. It really gets in the way of that. Yeah, go. Attach. I don't know why I do it like that, because I think you can change this drop down to say connect and start. I should just probably run that. Probably never will, because I'm stuck in my ways. I just love Alt Tab so much, it's my favourite. Okay, let's go into this. Is this gonna work? Oh yes, we hit my breakpoint. That's a good start, and we have a recipe and it's not completed, so we're going to call complete, which is then going to add all the crap to the ball, update the stage, and say we're currently in the next stage. Then I'm going to call this one, which should yeah, do that. Gets me an A. Okay, that looks promising. So the notice board. Ooh, I've just clicked on everything. Let's unselect the floor object. That's quite a large one. Yeah, so it added the perfect amounts to the ball and completed the stage. If I stand back and do the same again, I should now have 2 eggs in here. Oh no, I won't have 2 eggs in there because I've actually written the code to do that. My code's not that good. One other thing I can do here though is I can say that equals target butter, and then this guy equals target sugar, and this guy equals target brown sugar. And it's just a matter of filling all this in. Is it egg or eggs? Just a matter of, just a minute, what is it? I can't remember. Egg singular. And that's target egg amount. And then we want to mix, then we want to add, oh, this is going to be fun. So add plain flour, target flour increment amount. So I have to do a little bit of maths here. For var, I don't really care about I. 0. So I've got 0 in. I less than target flour amount. And I plus equals target flour amount increment. Change that to a float. Is that going to be happy? Yes, let's just call that reference rf. So the first time it's going to come in here, we're going to be at 0. I'm going to add 50 grams and mix it. Add 50 grams and mix it. Whilst it's less than. So that, yeah, I think that's right. Okay, and then target chocolate chip amount, and that is, I don't even know where we declare these. And then we mix. Okay. That's gonna work, I think. Now let's quickly do the sponge cake recipe. So we're gonna add some butter, target butter amount, and we need to mix it into that. And some sugar. She's gonna be target sugar amount. I'm going to add some eggs. It's going to be target egg amount. We want some self-raising flour. Christ. What did I call self-raising flour? Probably not self-raising flour. Oh. I stand corrected. Well done past me. Target SR flour amount. Change that to a bowl.mix. So I don't have them yet, and yeah, so it's impossible to do them 2 stages yet because there's no way of pouring the bowl. But this should allow me to debug so much quicker. So this wasn't exactly what I wanted to do today, but it's also, you know, it's progress. It's a good thing to do. I just need to start making this grabbing stuff from the bowl work. Like work as in like physically you're removing stuff from the bowl. That's working fine. But then registering that it's on that you've removed 12 things and stuff. And put them on a tray. I guess it's the tray needs to monitor how many cookies it has on it. If I just make a trigger on top of it and I just count the number of objects in that trigger, that would work, wouldn't it? I'll just do it on enter and exit. I could query it on the fly, I guess. Okay, recipe, stage complete, boom. And eggs. And flour. And chocolate chip. There we go. So if that's worked, it should now think I'm on the stage where I can do that. So now we have cookies. Woo! Nice. I was just thinking, I thought of something then. I was like, oh yeah, I should do that. Yeah, just quickly update this command. So on the notice board, int stages to complete. So by default will equal to 1. But what I'll do is for stage equals 0, stage less than stages to complete plus stage. And then I can just go complete 4 stages. And it'll go blah. Blah. Exactly like that. Just make that noise at me. I'm looking forward to this. Just working and saving me typing so much. This is like R tab 4 enter done. Is it 4 stages? Eggs, self-raising, chocolate. Yeah, I think it is. It's 4. Be nice to go back to the sponge cake recipe and adding a generic method of pouring the mixture from the bowl into the cake tin. I don't know how I'd do that because technically the bowl owns the mixture and it looks for a pourable mixture. I suppose the tin could do it. I don't know how the tin would tell the bowl to jog on. Right, so if I do recipe and I press 4, and look at that, we've got everything we need in the bowl and it's completed all the stages. So I'm just straight away I'm at a point where I can grab mixture. That's awesome. That's really going to be useful. Smack. We can just really quickly we can complete a recipe up to the point where we can make mixtures for the cookies, and then really quickly within moments, play the flip it across the room as far as you can game. Whee! I mean, what else could you possibly want? I really want to backslap that. Blech. That was less effective than oh my god. What's wrong with your arm? Oh wow, so crouching right next to an edge is a bad thing to do. Well, now we know. I think my arm just fell off. Oh. So what happens there is the physics goes mental, as you can see from these shit tons of errors. And I think something divides by 0 somewhere down in Unity land. And badness happens when that happens. Yeah, something's nan, which is not a number, or infinity. So I think they divide by 0 when badness happens like that. I don't know if I can get both arms to vanish. Well, that's pretty, Have I done it? Have I lost my arm? No, he's still there. This arm's hanging on for dear life. It's also quite funny when you move the arm and you can see the human. Because I allow a lot of movement just so that gameplay wise you're not limited. Because I move my arm in a straight line, I don't allow the bending of the elbow. Just because the controls got really convoluted when I did that. So you can see that he just teleports his arm through himself. Which is pretty special. I don't know if it'd be better having the arms separated from it. Problem then is that the shadow looks weird. I mean, the shadow looks pretty freaking weird anyway when you've got your arm in the middle of your chest. You know, it's like his elbow's not actually connected to his body at points. But it's just so that the movement of the game's nice rather than, you know, physically accurate. I'm presuming people can't do that to their actual bodies. It is an assumption that I'm making. Okay, let's exit to the main menu and see if the sponge cake recipe worked up to like insta completion, cheat mode, whatever I'm calling it. A debug command to complete a recipe stage. Oh, them load times though. Okay, so we should just be able to go recipe complete stage. Recipe complete stage. Recipe complete stage. Recipe complete stage, and we've got a mixture. So the bit that doesn't work on this is being able to go like this. And drop the ball. Yeah, so we can't do that currently. And we can't do this, although this bit wouldn't be that hard. That'll then cook. It does take 25 minutes though, so you've got to literally sit here for 25 minutes, so I won't be doing that. But if I manually complete that stage, it's going to be happy, and then this will say that I've failed. But I still get an A for completing everything else. Which is probably wrong. You should probably only be able to get an A if you get an A on everything. It takes the average, which probably isn't quite right thing to do. It should be weighted. Or an F should be so low in how much you get for it that it breaks any averages. I think I just do a 0 to 1. So A's will all give you 1, so I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus, even though it was 0, 5 divided by 6 is going to be more than 80%, isn't it? Yeah, so technically you got 83%, but I count 80% as an A. I suppose if I took the minimum bound for the grade instead, so then that'd have been 0.8 times 5 divided by 6, which would give you a C, which is probably better. Probably a little bit better. Right, I think that's good work done, so let's get that submitted. Okay, notice board. Add a debug command to complete a recipe stage. The command takes an optional parameter of the number of stages you wish to complete. You wish to complete. And that should make it a lot easier on Wednesday, which is when I'm streaming next. I think, yeah, it will be. To get up to that point so I can start actually working out how to count that you got things. I think the first thing I want to do is when you put your hand in and grab mixture, it should reduce the amount of mixture in the bowl. I should say this mixture creates 12 handfuls, and then reduce the amount by a 12th each time until you have no mixture left. Which should work quite nicely. And then once you put it on the tray, when you complete the stage, I guess I just need to count how many are on the tray. And then put it in the oven. Oh, excuse me. But for now, guys, I think that's it. So let's go find someone to host. Pop that up on another screen. Twitch. Following communities. Game dev. Who's streaming right now? Who do we know? Oh, the Unity Tech are going to do the GDC keynote soon. But let's pick some randomer. Ooh, what have we got? What have we got? Oh, someone's not got to catch my fancy. That'll do. Let's give Ronchi a host.